So we're going to continue talking about things to think about when you're doing the Refuge, Ngondro. And just a little bit about Ngondro. It's preliminary practices for a 3-year retreat. There are sometimes 4 or 5 or 9 of them listed. Taking refuge is one of them. So these are practices that people traditionally do before they will do a longer retreat. So it's not a requirement, but it's very helpful to do this. And just for your practice of taking refuge in a daily basis, because we take refuge before we do all of our meditation sessions, if you know all these different things about the qualities of the 3 jewels, the reasons for taking refuge, things to contemplate, then that will enhance your practice when you say the refuge at the beginning of all of the sadhanas. Okay? But it's just right now I'm going into more depth in this one aspect of the practice, so I don't want people to get confused about where we are and what we're doing. Okay, so some other things to think about when you're taking refuge is if there anything that you feel uncomfortable about in taking refuge. Are there any doubts that you have? And if so, bring them out in the open, ask questions, explore them, and resolve them. Okay, because Buddhism is not about blind faith. So don't just stuff your doubts down and say, oh, I'm bad for having them. Look at them and then get answers for them. Of course, if there's this kind of mind that's skeptical and doubting for the sake of being skeptical and doubting, and this mind that disturbs you with doubt, even though you've thought about something very clearly and you have a clear response and understanding, but the mind just likes to, go, so if that happens with that kind of doubt, that one just, turn your mind away from that and recall the reasons why that doubt is invalid. Okay, that kind of doubt you don't need to give much energy to because it doesn't want to listen to anything. It just wants to interfere with your mental peace. Okay, but genuine questions, definitely you should be curious about and ask. Okay, and then also think about how do you feel about religion and religious values that you were taught when they were young, and and what was your religious upbringing? Were you taught as an object of refuge then? How has that changed to your new object of refuge now? And if you have any uncomfortable feeling about the religion that you grew up with, for those of you who are new to, converts to Buddhism, then go back and make peace with that, because there are good values in each and every religion. And so you may be taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, but don't do it with this negative feeling towards other religions. Do it with appreciation of the values that you grew up with, even though there are some tenets of other religions that you may have decided that you don't believe in. Okay? So you can not believe in those, decide not to follow that religion, but you don't need to have a negative or an angry attitude. Okay? That's the point there. Okay? And then think about also, if you feel comfortable calling yourself a Buddhist and talking about your Buddhist practice to people. At this conference I just went to, it's amazing the number of people who do not want to say that they're Buddhist. They're willing to say, I practice Buddhism. Not I practice Buddhism, I study Buddhism. Or I go to a Buddhist center. But they don't want to say I'm Buddhist. And this may come for a whole variety of reasons. Part of it is that some people are just fed up with institutional religion, and they think that any ist or ism means that you're part of an institution. Whereas actually, when we say that we're Buddhist, it just means we're following the Buddha's teachings. We don't have to join a church or a club or hold to a certain catechism or something like that. okay? But just see inside yourself what your comfort level is, and if something is uncomfortable about saying I'm a Buddhist, or if you're a closet Buddhist, you don't want anybody to know that you're a Buddhist because they might judge you, then, it's an interesting thing to kind of explore. Why are we so secretive and, feel so uncomfortable? Why not be comfortable with what we are? It's one of the world's major religions. Yeah. And if other people don't know that, it's time that they learn. Okay? And then also contemplate, how does taking refuge change your attitude and your behavior in daily life? Yeah? And how does it really inspire you to practice? Because, when we take refuge, it directs our mind to a certain practice, a certain way of living. So really think about how that works and how you can use it. And then also contemplate how you can deepen your refuge. And so go back here to think about the causes of the refuge and qualities of the three jewels and so on and so forth. And so think about how to deepen your refuge. And then we'll continue with some other things to think about regarding refuge. But I must say that every time I come back from any kind of Buddhist conference, I have my faith in Buddha Dharma and Sangha has increased, and my appreciation of the Buddha as a skillful teacher who teaches a variety of methods increases, and my confidence in the particular tradition I practice also increases. Yeah.